I first wrote the theme song to the show, I can tell you right now, I never thought anyone would ever fucking hear that thing. I thought that show was gonna burn out immediately, and it has lasted for 3 decades. So I don't know. And I have to agree with him because SpongeBob, I feel, has been in the same boat where it's like that show's also in that same category. It started in '99. It's like
Holy
even that
shit,
show's
we're
been
old.
going way longer than you think it would have lasted. Uh,
Ah, damn, I'm old.
Yeah.
but yeah, so it sounds like they're talking about shutting The Simpsons down. Uh, and they said it has likely to do with the other shows it has to compete with now. You got to think Rick and Morty. Um, there's a couple other ones that I saw. Everybody liked Gravity Falls, and people were talking about bringing that back. The Gargoyles is now trending because of Disney Plus. So there's this petition that fucking started that they want to bring that back, and it's backed by the fucking creator of the original Gargoyles. He's like, oh yeah, I'd fucking love to do that. Look at this, people wanted to come back. Hey Disney, and it's like, oh man. And then you also got the Mandalorian there. Everybody's demanding that. So it looks like Disney's about to just come in and tackle and control. We're about to see the devastation of everything that they've bought at a massive amount of time.
I still
'Cause you
haven't
gotta
seen
think,
The Mandalorian. I haven't started it yet. I
Neither have
you
apologize.
I.
gotta watch it. You gotta watch it,
That's fine.
boys. I have to tell you, like, I really didn't have high hopes because after watching the last sequel and the sequel before it, I'm like, they bounce back and forth. Like the first movie of the last three movies they're doing here, it was a New Hope all over again, just a different characters, but same exact plot. But it was fun. And then the next one was like, I don't know what you're doing anymore. You've lost me. I don't understand. So I didn't have high hopes. And the next one doesn't look to be any better to me. To be honest, I'm very confused. It looks like just another nostalgia ride to end it all. But The
Well, from
Mandalorian,
my
try,
understanding, everyone likes the Mandalorian just because of Baby Yoda.
see, that's wrong. That is wrong. This is the same thing as like, if you like Rick and Morty, everybody's like, oh, it's
Yes.
because it was such a popular thing with like sexual ones. Like, it's not about that. It's the show itself that I like. Yes, there were some things that really blew up out of proportion. That were taken way out of hand. But that doesn't shouldn't ruin the whole thing because the basis of it I still like, and I still love what's in it. Um, it's the same thing with Mandalorian. Like Baby Yoda kind of stole the show immediately. Um, and it looked to be in that same vein when I first saw the trailer. That the reason I didn't have extreme high hope for it was like, well, it's just trying to cash in on anyone that liked Boba Fett, but it's not Boba or Jenga. So I mean, or a Django or Jenga.
I love that game.
Get
But
your shit
Django,
together.
yeah, not Django or Boba, and it's like, well, I mean, I don't know. It's just trying to cash in on that, but it's actually pretty cool. It looks like they're going over what happened to Mandalorians and like hinting at other shit with being a bounty hunter, and it's really fucking cool. But Baby Yoda definitely just kind of took off. But there is more to it that's great. It definitely captures your attention because everything just kind of ends where they finish what they were ever doing before. Like anything that comes up is finished, and then it's just like, what are they gonna do now? I don't know. Tune in next week. We'll figure it out. And I'm like, what? This is why everybody's demanding it. I don't know anything. I don't understand anything that's going on. I, it's I like it. So yeah, you should try that out. Um, Speaking of which, I have to say, even in nerddom or politics, it doesn't matter where you go. Age has a very big play in all of that. Because you talk about these things with like, well, in my case, because I'm 25, so my parents aren't that much older. They're only 20 years older than me. But it's just enough where like opinions differ with people that are in their 40s as compared to me, or people in their 50s that like these things, and so on. Um, which plays into the other thing that James wanted to talk about.
Yeah, good old generations.
Yeah, James, you guys can just kick in, man. Let's go.
Generations and how
Overdrive.
people don't. I don't know. I think half the time they're just kind of running off of what's popular. The thing like right now is to call people boomers. When
Okay,
90% of
boomer.
the time the
Yeah.
people they're
Okay, boomer.
talking to aren't
Yeah.
even remotely close to being in that generation.
Oh yeah. Well, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay, boomer. What?
Hey,
What do you
you
like?
got everything handed to you on
10 years
silver
older than
platter,
me,
you
boomer?
shit.
Um. Yeah.
So
So
I
we're
wanted to
gonna break this down.
clarify what the generations were, and maybe
You know,
give
I
some
have to. I
insight.
have to be honest. I have been curious about it, and I've looked. I've had to look it up a few times because I'm like, I don't know. It seems kind of stupid to know, but everybody, it's just everybody uses it, and I'm like, ah, what is the actual difference? I'm that kind of nerd.
We're talking decades and decades,
We're
and
the worst
like
nerds.
first and
Um,
foremost, baby boomers or boomers, as everybody likes to call them.
yeah, okay, boomer.
They run from 1946 to
1946,
1964,
1964.
and
Yeah.
they were in a time where like our economy was just badass because it was like right after the wars and
It was right after
all
we
the
got our ass
nonsense.
kicked.
Yeah, and then yeah, the economy soared, and they had all this shit to fall
Can
back
I?
on,
Can I?
like all
You know what
their
happened?
parents and everybody were successful, and they in turn because they it was easier then. It was an easier time. It was a simpler time. They didn't have to.
You know what happened?
Not everybody. I'm not saying all fucking people from that generation didn't work for shit. Like, because
No, no. This
plenty
is
of
this
them
is gonna be
did,
my
but
point. My point being, um, when it comes to the baby boomer generation, what happened was all the men were at war in the 1930s.
correct.
Uh, so there was a lot of people missing in the country. So once you get to this time, everybody was back home. Like World War II is over. Everybody's coming home. Any women over there, any men over there. All these people that were fighting for the death are now afraid. Some of them came back. Obviously they came back pretty messed up. So it's like I want to start a family. Like that was terrible. If that ever happens again, like God damn. So everybody started fucking and having babies. So yeah, 1946 in 1964. Since everybody was back, there was nothing major going on that made anybody go anywhere. We were just booming, making cars, doing industry, business, which is also this is where everybody just was like, "Yay, capitalism" kind of thing. But
Yeah.
there's more to it. There's more to it than just that. But like that's where I can see it really kicking off. It's just like, man, as long as we have this business, we're doing great. But then we lost sight of that, and then it just became, what can we do to make the most money, and then fuck everything else. And it's like, this is what happened before. Come on, wait a minute.
Yeah, they basically, it's like, I guess you could
Which
think of it
ties
like a
in,
high. You end up on that super high, and you go way farther than you should have, and then
and
end up
and that ties
fingering the
in,
economy in its ass with no lube. So
yeah, and it
yeah,
ties into Gen Xers or Generation X,
yes. Which I'm gonna
which
go
is
out and say I
65 to
thought I was
1980.
growing up.
Oh
Like,
wow, really?
and even though it's a
You're not
5 year
that old.
no, it's like it's a 6 year discrepancy, but I just assumed. And like the second somebody had mentioned the word millennial, and that word's been our generation, or whatever, big air quotes here, millennials, like that word started getting tossed around a lot and bashed on pretty hardcore, and it was like it didn't exist until all of a sudden the last 5 to 10 years it's been like in everybody's mouth, and like the
Yeah, and
finger
and
pointing
now it's
and
changing to okay, boomer.
yeah. So
I don't understand the shift. Actually, oops, sorry. I had an itch and I hit everything. So my bad. That'll be out if you're listening to us on Spotify or Anchor. Let's take a minute, gentlemen. Which if you are, you probably didn't hear the giant noise that I just made, but I hit everything because I had an itch that happened. So, but if you are, you can reach us at oddcastmedia@gmail.com. We also have the at Oddcast and on Twitter. And James, where can they find you? Because I know you have your own things you like doing.
yeah, you guys can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at ACS_create. And you can email us if you'd like at adaptivecreationsstudio@outlook.com.
Yeah.
Also, I shared out the link for the live stream if you want to share that to your page and the Oddcast page.
Ooh, look at the things we're doing on the fly.
Right?
What are you doing? So yeah, that's up to 1980 at that point, and that's when everybody they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to just settle down and start fucking and having kids. Like, they all wanted to fuck, but it's like, we want to fuck, but we don't want to have kids. That's like the Gen X, where it's like you start to fight it, but then, you have to have kids at some point, I guess, for most people. Yeah, and then
we're a
that's when we
that's
come
meant
in.
to procreate. I mean, that's
And-
like built in our genomes. We're meant to procreate. So at some point, we're all going to sit down and have kids. Well, not all of us, but a mass majority of
And
us.
that's
If
and
I'm
that's where we come
reading
in.
this stat correctly, there were 4.3 million births in 1957 alone and 1961.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Well, that's
But
on
then
a
that's when we
daily.
come in, gentlemen.
Yeah, that's on a daily in China right now.
But that is when the next three of us come in, when we're at the millennial stage, which is 81 to 96.
God fucking damn it.
Yeah, James, what year were you born?
85. So
Oh, see,
I
he's
guess-
the oldest one out of all of us.
I
There's a
guess I'm
10-year
stuck
difference
eating
between all of
Tide
us.
Pods. I don't know. I don't really want to do it, so don't pressure me into anything stupid.
You know you wanted to. You know you wanted to. No, you know what you wanted to do? You wanted to take the Tide powder and just do a line.
Oh yeah,
Feel real good, straight to the brain.
sounds awesome.
Right, cool. Don't try that at home. Not encouraged.
Yeah,
We're gonna
don't
get
do
taken
that.
down immediately.
Yeah, don't do that. We are in no way, shape, or form responsible for your stupidity or actions.
Oh, I love it.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Right?
Uh,
Don't do
but
as
Jeremy-
we say, and don't do as we do either. Let's
But
go
that
with
means
that.
Jeremy's no longer the oldest person.
I
James
know.
has-
Yes, I am
I'm
old.
so happy.
I am
so
old.
Happy.
Old balls,
I'm
old man
normally
balls.
I'm normally the old man in
By
the group.
1 year,
Finally,
he's
I'm a
the oldest.
youngster.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys can see the chat, but we do have 2 people currently watching. Inferno
I do not.
Frenzy is in here, and he said I'm old. I am old. Yes, I am. I'm getting there anyways. You know what?
Inferno
I'm not worried about
Frenzy,
getting
that's
old. I'm
Anthony.
worried about
Anthony,
getting
what are you doing? You're
fat.
supposed to be. Hold up. Pause. Pause it.
Pause.
Pause. No, don't pause. Just hold
Pause.
up. Anthony, you're watching? You're watching right now? Anthony, I have a message for you here. If you're really watching this thing, you should be packing, boy. You should be packing.
And not of the fudge variety either.
Unless you're able to pack and listen, but I can already imagine you standing there, just hearing a topic and immediately wanting to jump in, especially this, but not being able to say your birth year. But I was born in 1994, and Jeremy, you were born in 1993.
He's listening while
Right, yep.
packing, he says.
Okay. I hope you are. I swear to God.
Holy shit! You want to hear a few iterations of our generation's name? Apparently, they were
Oh,
confused at the
bring
time
it
of
on.
trying to figure out what to call us. So, Generation Y, which you probably knew, Generation Y, like the word Y, and then Generation Next, and Echo Boomers. Now, honestly, Echo Boomers kind of sounds cool. Could be like a garage
That
band or
sounds
something.
fucking dope.
See, this is what I get. This is what I don't understand. How are we gonna have like, oh, they're millennials, but then on the other hand, it's like, oh, but then there's like this, and then there's that, and then there's just like, can we just not do that?
Yeah.
Can we not do that?
The nickname Generation Y, not the letter Y, the word Y, refers to the questioning nature of millennials. because apparently we're the ones that ask all the questions. Not always the right ones, but we at least ask them, I guess. It's
Well,
good.
I mean, you gotta look at technology because since like the '80s to now, I mean, within our generation of that, it kind of like advanced drastically.
Hey, tell me if this sounds like you guys, real quick. One more point. Millennials are expected to create a cultural shift in the workplace. Already, millennials have expressed a desire to pursue work that is personally meaningful. They tend to resist corporate hierarchy and are accustomed to getting work done in a variety of environments, not simply sitting at their desks.
Yes.
That sounds like they pulled that shit straight out of my fucking head. I'm not
Because
gonna lie.
like I'll sit there, I'll at work, I'll just take my laptop and I'll be like, you know what, I don't want to sit at my desk today, and I'll walk outside and sit on like a little AC unit or something like that and work from there, or sit out in the truck.
See, that's not bad.
We're
Okay,
known as
that's not bad.
multitasking team players. We thrive in encouragement and feedback, great gains, and we see great gains in productivity when we can implement these changes in upper or even just management positions.
Well, that's a lie.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know.
And
I
for
didn't
all
eat a
of
Tide
you,
Pod, so I don't know what the fuck I'm
and
talking
for all
about.
of you out there, I'm sharing out the live stream link. Feel free to share it out wherever, because it'll be an episode after as well. You can find it on, as we said, Spotify, Anchor, Stitcher. I know iTunes has it. It's everywhere now. We've expanded out. So
Did you say Stitcher? Like Stitcher Jim?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's called Stitcher. I had somebody ask me about that, but I know it's on there. I saw it. So it's everywhere, and even YouTube here. So feel free. Yay.
Correct. Yeah, so I think I've ranted enough about the difference between baby boomers and echo
Millennials
boomers.
and-
Like,
Yeah. Okay. So, all right.
I don't like the word
So,
millennial, but I'll accept the fact that I am one, I guess. It's 'cause
yeah,
it's
I
not a
don't.
bad thing to be.
I refuse.
We don't have a choice.
I'm a
Stop
soldier.
eating fucking laundry detergent.
But
Fucking up
yes,
our
which
name.
got me into my next
That's what
point.
I.
There is
My
another
thoughts.
category, gentlemen,
Okay.
which is the post millennial, which is 1997 to present. It hasn't ended yet.
Yeah.
So yeah,
God damn it.
it's fun. It was just my last little thing I had for that.
There are far more Tide Pods in that generation than ours.
Yep.
I know. I've
Thank
said
God.
that
Correct.
word like 50 times, but I can't get over the fact of how stupid it is. I've never got to rant about it. Quit being fucking stupid. Don't
Well, there's
fucking
other
put shit in your
challenges
mouth.
going on with the whole Tide Pod thing that actually took effect in a lot um, younger individuals within the last 10 years. There was the hot
Younger
stove
and
challenge.
Hot stove challenge.
Yep.
Oh,
So if you guys
God.
don't know what that is, you basically get yourself a stove. You turn one of the racks all the way up to high. You wait till it gets as hot as it possibly can, and you either place your arm or your hand on there and hold it as long as you can
As
to
long as
win.
I can. Are you
Yep.
sure?
That's fucked
Yep.
up.
I'm pretty sure it's only until I touch it and then I'm like, ow, no,
Oops.
that's
There
fucking
was
stupid. I'm not doing that.
there was condom snorting.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Really?
Yep.
Condom snorting?
Yep.
Wow.
Who could snort the most condoms? Yep. A lot of
Oh
people were
wait, no, I
choking.
remember that. Yeah, yeah. You'd see those stupid fucking people that would put it on their hand. They put it out like a coke line on their hand, and then you'd snort it, or on a table, whatever the fuck you want to do. Uh, but yeah, it would go down their nose, and then they would start to choke on it, and they try to blow it back out. But then the fucking thing would just turn into a balloon coming out of your mouth, because at that
Yep.
point, it's you know what I mean? Like that's just,
Yep.
it makes no fucking sense.
Oh yeah, some of these don't make sense. There was the choking challenge.
Yeah, you know what? Let's not bring. You know what? Let's just stop. There's been a lot of stupid things that have happened.
Correct.
There is a new year on the horizon, and Thanksgiving is technically tomorrow. We're all probably on your way there or there, sleeping, waiting for tomorrow, whatever you do. Maybe you're traveling, then maybe you hear this Friday and you're traveling home. Either way, be safe, Don't be stupid. Don't drive drunk or anything like that. Be
Or on
safe
icy,
where
slippery
you're going.
roads.
Yes. Yeah. It's a fun time of year to be traveling everywhere. So just be smart, be safe, and yeah, get home. Um. So another thing, I kind
Don't
of brought
set your
up before we were
cruise.
recording here.
Do not do it, by the way. I know it's probably
Don't do a
common
cruise.
sense, but don't set your cruise if you see moisture on the road or if it just snowed. Don't set your fucking cruise control, please. It's how you
I don't
slide
know.
off the road and roll your car or end
I
up
think
in the other
Anthony is gonna
lane.
be. I think Anthony's that person. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
don't do it. Don't do it. Don't
Anthony,
do it,
I
I
fucking
swear to
hate
God,
that.
if you're, I swear to God, Anthony, you listen and packing there. I don't care what box you're doing. I don't care what box you're packing together. Put it down. Come over here. Answer me right now. Is that what you're doing? Are you that fucking person? I swear to God. Um, but no, that is something that is a smart warning. Um, yeah, that's dangerous because once you hit a patch of ice or anything like that, um, it doesn't know how to react.
I've learned
Oh,
the
look.
hard way.
Yes.
Hey, but you've learned. And that's
At
what
least you
counts.
did learn. You're not stupid. And you're still with us today, so it wasn't a big mistake. Because I've seen that happen a few times when I was growing up. Uh, there's actually a guy when I was living with Paul there to finish out senior year. There was one of the mailmen, his Jeep. He tried to say it was the anti-brake, and we're like, well, how fast were you going, or what were you doing? Which is another thing. Like, just don't go fast in general, because that dude, like, the anti-brake couldn't kick in because of the ice, and he was going so fucking fast, he flipped his Jeep into the ditch. And then he just ranted off about, like, oh, those fucking anti-lock brakes. It's like, I don't think it mattered at that point, because, I mean,
He didn't have a Jeep
obviously you
though.
just
He
hit
had a
ice, and
Camaro.
you just boom, 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 boom. No, 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 no. It was a dude up by, it wasn't Paul, it was one of the fucking mailmen. He flipped because the
Oh,
mailman in our area back home, if you lived down on the back roads like we did with all the mud roads and shit,
yeah, I know where
uh,
Paul went or lived at
yeah,
least.
yeah, there were just regular dudes with just their regular vehicles trying to make it by doing the mailman thing for that. Um, yeah, and that dude flipped his Jeep and blamed it on that. But we all knew it was because it was fucking icy and he liked to book it because it's a fucking back road. There's no cops. Everybody does it. Just be smart. Don't do that. Just save yourself time and money. Um,
Shit, I remember you and Paul went straight into the ditch with the Camaro right up on your side. That was fucking hilarious riding past that and seeing it.
I had, actually, Anthony. Uh, I know you're still packing, and I love you, and I hope you and Heather really enjoy that new house. I just want to bring up again, Anthony is moving into a house. I'm so proud of him. He's come so far. He's he's done a lot of good things, and he's on his way. Love you, bud. Uh, so the bus we had to get to school. Our bus driver liked to speed really fast. There was one day we got in the ditch, and we're like, oh man, does that mean we can't go to school? Ah, hell yeah! We're all like cheering, and then he turns around, he's like, no, they're bringing in another one. The snowplow's gonna pull this one out. We're like, ah, son of a bitch. Yeah. But then we looked at each other. We're like, oh well, at least we'll miss like first period. And he's like, no, we'll be back in time for it, so you don't miss first period. Like, son of a bitch. You're like, come on, man. Like, give us fucking something.
It's New York. Nobody gave you anything.
It was all. It was fun living out there. I do have to say, we had some fun times. Because me and Jeremy here, I know specifically, I used to ride my bike all the time, and I used to go ride down into town, meet up with Jeremy and a couple of their friends, and we'd ride around, cause mayhem, do stupid shit.
Yep.
Just regular kid shit in a small town.
That's what you got to do in a small town. Keep yourself entertained.
Yeah, 10 miles
As
from
as
your house into town.
as Anthony said in
No,
the chat,
it wasn't that far. No, because it was
you have to
five
learn the hard
miles.
way. When you
It was
grow up
5
in a small
miles.
town.
But yeah, 10 miles to get there and then get home again. Anthony was shorter, so I usually hung out at Anthony's only, and it was really like a thing of like I really like hanging out with him, and he was right there. It was like a maybe 2 mile just walk, and it was super easy by bike because it was mostly downhill, and I was like, man, this is fucking great getting down to his house. Um, But getting back up to my house was a fucking pain in the ass. It was just that giant fucking hill that was just steep. Like there was the only hard part about it was just steep and it made no fucking sense. Like it was
God, that
almost
hill sucked. Oh my
it was
God.
almost just it was almost a straight shot down and then it just curved out and you shot straight down the rest. But going up it was a fucking pain in the ass and our house was right on the top of it, so you had to get all the way up to the top just where you start getting momentum to keep going again, and you had to turn into the driveway. It was fucking great.
I've
But
rucked
yeah.
up I've rucked up a road in the army that was steeper and longer than that hill, and I absolutely hated every single second of it. It made me miss that hill to your house.
Dude, the bus driver even used to use our driveway to turn around because
It was the only
uh,
spot to turn around on that
it
entire
was the only
road.
spot to turn around without having to go. Because the other way, what the only other thing you could do was go down the hill. But once you started going down that hill, it was very, very hard to stop completely to hit any of the other driveways. So you were just going down to the bottom to turn around. And the Goots got mad that he was turning around at the farm. So they were like, "Oh well, all right, well I'm gonna have to turn around in your driveway," and we would get pissed. But he's like, "Well, I can't turn around like anywhere else on this fucking road, so I'm sorry, but I got to do it." So that that was a thing. But yeah, getting home on bike or it just walking was such a pain, and that was the only problem. Was that well?
My entire
That's okay.
town's built on a
Let me
hill.
break this down.
Oh
That was not
God.
I'm not
that wasn't the
joking.
only problem. Like the only two ways to get into town or get back home was walking all the way down my hill and that just slanted down road where it was just on bike super easy. But I could go all the way straight and go to the highway, and then I'd have to ride on the side of the highway the like 3 miles or so into town, or 5 miles or so into town. Well, 3 miles to it was about 3 miles to Anthony, 2 to 3, and then it was 5 to get into town. So you could do that
No,
on the main highway.
it was 2 miles from your house to Anthony's house.
Yeah.
It was 2.5 to the highway, and then from the highway into town it was 2.5. To get to my house it was even farther because you had to add an
Oh
extra
yeah,
mile
that's
and a half.
right.
So going to my
Well,
house, depending
that's
on
what I'm
which way you
saying. Like it was all
went,
the way on the
was
highway, or I could take the other way, which was an even bigger version of my own hill to get to my house.
yep.
And then I could go that way down another hill that was kind of like that to get to the town. So usually I just go by the highway side. But either way, it sucked, especially because we had some friends that lived on one of the other bigger hills, and you'd have to go almost all the way up the fucking thing to get there. And it's like, man, like this place is a living hell. Like this is why I hated going into towns at times because like it was just a pain in the ass. Everything was on some kind of fucking hill somewhere, or it was out in the middle of fucking nowhere that you still had to go a ridiculously long length to get to. It was a pain in the ass growing up.
Yo, I
Um,
gotta step away for a second, but I'm gonna take the stream with me so I can just jump back in seamlessly. I do. I will be back. It's gonna be very quick.
he's got to take the Browns
But
to the Super Bowl.
it's possible. I don't know yet. Could just be gas. But I'm
All
not
right, well
trusting
you
it.
go
Never
for it. Don't
trust a
be
fart.
sharting on the live.
I'll be right back. You guys just keep on
Do
going.
do 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 do. James might shit his pants. If you're watching, ooh, you're watching the shit pants. I hope you're wearing your brown pants. Anthony, he might shit himself. Hey,
You're missing
you're
all the
missing it.
action,
You're
bud.
missing it. You're missing the biggest action. You're missing it all. You're missing the total shit fest going on. What a fun time. So, yeah, so
Well,
that
it
was
is a J
so that was
episode.
yeah. I don't
Yeah, it
know
is a
what you
J
expect with the
episode.
J episode.
You get three
Um,
J's in a room, and then you're just gonna, it's like a nuclear bomb. You're not sure what's gonna happen.
hmm.
I farted.
All right, so Jeremy might shit himself too. So I mean, it might just. I think I'm the only one that's not gonna. That doesn't have to. Oh, what
No,
a
I
fun
had an
time!
MRE the other day,
What
so
a
I ain't
fun
gonna shit
time!
for about a week.
Oh, that's right. Oh, god damn it, Anthony's gonna kill me.
What?
Um, I completely forgot. Thank you for your service, Jeremy.
Oh, you dick.
Thank you for your service. I forgot
Every
Anthony.
episode.
Anthony's gonna kill me. I can already feel it. I can already feel the hateful eyes that are coming over to his phone as he's packing another box, just like you son of a bitch.
As a
Realizing
soldier,
that I forgot to say thank you for your service.
as a soldier, we love and we
Oh,
also
update!
hate that.
Breaking news here on Oddchat. James has now said live, him and the toilet are having a great time. Thank you, James, for the important update here on the live Oddchat. This will be edited out. Maybe not. Actually, you know what? It's live. I am being told by the producer it cannot be taken out at this time.
Well, that's
Anthony
one
has
way
just
to conduct it.
Anthony has just now come back from his box after giving the evil eye to say, Jeremy, thank you for your service.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Anthony. But that has been breaking news here on this odd chat. And I actually had a question about what I was going to be doing. I actually went out with some coworkers, Levi, Christian, and Joel. I'm just going to name shout them out because Levi was asking me about this today, so who knows. But I got asked about things like this, and yeah, I'm going to name shout all of them. But this is a completely improv episode because we recorded 3 episodes in a row because the Thanksgiving being right there, we were both going to be busy. Anthony moving into his house, me doing my own thing. So I was like, you know what? 2 of them were going to have something I had planned out, and then the other one's just a throwaway thing because it's me, Jeremy, and James. It'll be interesting. The 3 of us together, this will be fun. So yeah, I'm gonna name shout them out because that's exactly what's happening. So going back to The Simpsons, we talked about briefly in the beginning there. I can't believe that it really has been 3 decades. Amazing.
When did it come out? Was it 90 or 89?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
Sounds like James is on his way back.
I think he is. I want to say they started in '89. My phone's stupid, folks. Just bear with me. We're just here to tell you that we have technical difficulties live. These are things that we'd edit out on Spotify before we go. So, let me look this up.
What in the earth did I just get?
I would like to say that I'm pretty sure Jeremy just looked up Simpsons porn. Yes, 89. I was correct.
It's
December
probably
17th,
a deep,
1989.
dark rabbit hole.
Jesus fucking Christ. That means December 17th of this year, it'll be 30 years old.
Oh, by the
Jesus
way,
Christ.
thank you for your service. I did miss that part.
God
It
damn
is appreciated.
He's got you. You just got
Hello.
how
How do you enunciate that? Vieta? Or
What?
Yeta? In the chat. Hello.
Oh.
Vieta? Oh, okay, yeah, Vieta.
Vieta. Okay.
Vieta is her name.
Oh.
I didn't want
I
to botch
didn't
it, but I
understand.
assumed I may have anyways. That's what happens when your brain doesn't process things properly. Or you say shit before you should.
We're a little bit stupid.
Shit happens, man. It happens.
He just got done shitting his brains out, so forgive him.
Well, I just got a
I
really
did,
random
literally.
text from like an old friend of mine, literally now, that says, I just had a guy just come back into town that I've been talking to and I haven't talked to in a while.
We're
He
turning
just
into a
sent me
relationship
text.
podcast. This is spicy. Ooh. Somebody crack on the habanero. Oh!
No, she's just like, he wants to snort blow off my tits. I'm like, the fuck? A random text that I just got from an old friend. Like, the hell, man?
Can I just say, thank you for your service, Jeremy. I see it's going to real great use.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh,
you're.
I haven't.
It's fun.
We know, as a soldier, and I'm going to say this for all soldiers, we love that saying and we hate that saying at the same time. Because it's always at the moment where we're trying to sit there and figure shit out at the moment, trying to buy something, or it's just an awkward situation. Like,
And what is that?
so I was literally sitting there arguing with a lady at a ticket counter for my plane ticket. And this woman and her daughter walks up and goes, "Thank you for your service." So I turn around and I go, "Thank you, ma'am." And I turn back around to go and yell at this lady across the counter about my plane ticket, to only sit there and turn back around to the lady, and she's standing there with 4 extra large pizzas. She goes, "I hope you're hungry. Here you go."
What kind of
I'm
fucking
like,
cartoon world are you living in?
Right?
I literally want to hear from other soldiers. I want to know if this happens to them. Because otherwise, Jeremy, you're
Yes.
living the
Yes.
literal fucking cartoon life. Are you dragging me into fucking Looney Tune world?
No. I'm like,
I hate you so
dead
much.
serious. Like, that happens all the
Just
time.
Looney Tunes.
Or you'll be sitting there and you'll be like fumbling with your wallet to try to pay for something, like trying to get cash
That
out
one
of your
I can
card
kind of
out.
understand.
And then some guy like walks up and wants to shake your hand, and you're thinking he's trying to take your wallet, so you quickly jerk away, and he goes, "Thank you for your service." Okay, thank you. Or you're
Jeremy-
getting into your car and they're like, "Thank you for your service."
James, we have a problem.
Thank you.
What?
Anthony, we have a problem. And I know you know what I'm saying, Anthony. Jeremy's broken. Jeremy's broken the code. I'm free. I'm finally free.
Isn't that a
I'm
song?
finally free of the Matrix. I've been trapped in here since episode 1. Anthony's a robot and Seth is a lizard man. I don't know if you've noticed, but I have the entire time since episode 1. I've noticed this, and this is like technically close to episode 50 that we've done. And I've got to say, guys, I think I've broken the code. Jeremy, everything you just described sounds like something that only a moron and a computer could invent as a random interaction in a video game. Because you know why? When you play Bethesda games, they let you play all the things that were wrong while you're playing.
Well, you want to hear the worst one?
That's
I
what
ever
we're
got?
living in, apparently.
You want to hear the worst one I ever got?
Oh, I'm glad you killed the dragon. Here's 4 pizzas. Hope you're hungry. Thank you for your service.
I had a hooker come up to me one time and she goes, "Thank you for your service. Today I'm giving 50% off to veterans."
That's great. Is it Veterans Day? No, you've completed the quest of helping this country. What the fuck? What am I living? What? How do I go back?
Yeah.
What?
This is Arnold's Pizza Shop. You can beat my meat, but you can't beat my prices.
Man, you know,
I don't know
love
where that
playing-
came
you know,
from. I'm sorry.
As buggy as it always has been, and I think it always will be, just because of what it is. Skyrim still is fun to go back and play. I just want to say, I want to put it out there. I still end up going back just to do random things. But that also reminds me, Jeremy, what you could do. I want you to one of these times, what you need to do is crouch down real low, pretend you're sneaking, and see if anybody goes, "Hey, I know you," and just see what happens. See if you have an option of what you can say, because we might be living in a video game. I think I've cracked the code.
I've done it as a prank.
Just
but no,
walk
seriously.
crouch through like a mall. Just walk crouch.
Oh, I've done
everywhere.
it to get out of a meeting before. Like, I've
You
literally
shit.
sat there. I was like, I'm done with this meeting. So I just got up and crouched and then just like walked straight through the meeting as the guy was briefing. He didn't even stop. He just watched me walk out. I walk out to the hallway and shut the door slowly behind me and then stand up and walk away. Nobody ever came back and got me. My
We're
first
living in
sergeant
a
walks
video
up to me
game.
later
We're
on
living
and
in a
goes-
fucking video game. Anthony, I've cracked it, you son of a bitch.
I
you,
literally had my
gentlemen.
first sergeant walk up to me and he
Um,
goes, "Did you just try to crouch sneak your way out of a meeting?" And I'm like, "It worked." He goes, that is like the highest gamer level expertise I've ever seen, and I don't even play games.
You
And I'm like,
should have made a
it
gun
works.
with your hand and just started saying pew pew and pointing your fingers at the lights, like Sam Fisher style. Shoot out the lights while you're crouch walking out of the meeting. Just pew pew pew.
Jesus Christ.
Uh,
So guys, there is another thing that we have here. That Jeremy actually brought this up. So if this was a video game, I wish I could edit this out. Like I wish I could go into programming and just fix it, but I can't. Um, so a man was busted with 58 terabytes of child porn, and it looks like it was about a year ago that this happened, but it has led to other arrests and things. But Jeremy had brought it up, so we had been looking around at it. But it's helped lead to a lot of the other arrests that they've had for other things. And I just want to say, I don't want to get into details because, it's pretty fucked up.
Some dark shit.
Just the fact that it's 58 fucking terabytes. That's just, it's not even right.
You know how long it takes to fill 58 fucking terabytes? Like
That's
an
too much.
insane amount of data. Like it's
too much.
staggering.
'Cause 4 months ago, hidden in plain sight sex trafficking was also taken down in Canada as a result of what had happened that 1 year ago there too. So
allegedly, it's not confirmed. It's allegedly.
either way, man, like that's just this is
It's
the world
just
we live
wrong.
in. 72% of trafficked victims in Canada are under the age of 25, and 51% of trafficked girls have been involved in the child welfare system. Pretty fucked up.
Yep.
And social media sites are new recruiting grounds for traffickers because parents don't monitor their children anymore.
Actually, it's not just that. You know those text messages that you get that talk about, free offers or something like that, or like,
Oh, wait, okay, me
the
and
phone
James have been
calls.
talking about this shit, right? I'll get phone calls all the time where it's some kind of robot voice that leaves a half-assed voicemail where it's like,
Or it
Press
like cut
one.
itself off.
press 1 if you want to pay off your loan and not have any further charges. I'm like,
Right.
what?
Yep.
It's a zero context.
And then there'll be another
robot.
one be like, press 2 if you don't want to go to jail. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, there's those, but the text messages are the ones to be afraid of.
Yeah,
If
and I
you
get text
click
messages
on
with
the
the same
link,
thing. I
it
delete them
activates a
and block them. I'm like,
tracker
what the
in your
fuck?
phone.
I like
It
the
actually
ones.
activates a tracker.
They're like, hey, remember that vehicle you owned 20 years ago and you sold? You no longer have possession of. You can extend its warranty by 10 years. Those
Yep,
ones.
I hate that fucking
Can
thing.
warranty horse shit. It's like, dude, I don't have that
fucking
vehicle
hate
anymore. Why are you
Dude, I
calling
get
me?
that with insurance companies that I've had over the years with my other vehicles. They'll still send me things of like, hey, remember that vehicle you had with us? Like, you don't have it anymore, but like, hey, do you have a new vehicle you want to get us? We'll give you like blah 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 off. I'm like, man, I work for DirecTV. I know this game. Go fuck yourself.
Right. Dude, I used to sell
You ain't
vacuums
playing
to people.
no player of the DirecTV game. Go fuck yourself.
$2,000
I know how
vacuums.
this works.
So I know when I'm being fed horse shit 90% of the time. I'm just saying.
You know what that smells like? It smells like bullshit. And you know what? I grew up around farms. I know some bullshit. You know? Go fuck out of here.
It would be semi-accurate.
So no, that shit is so fucking annoying. Fuck those. But if this was a perfect world and we actually lived in a computer simulator, there would be a way to hack all this and we could just fix it. Guys, I think I broke the code. It's literally a Bethesda game. Look up how to fix a Bethesda game when you're playing it. We need to find this way in the real world, all right? I think it has to involve... I think it's something to do with Anthony. I haven't figured it out yet, but I think it's something to do with him, guys.
Well, we need to find Neo. I already
Robot
found
app.
that random program code in our entire system.
So we're a simulation, and every single one of us is just a random AI living out its daily life, like a
That would suck. You'd
super
just be a sim running around
complicated
with
game
with
of
something
Grand
that
Theft
just,
Auto.
Yeah, it would be a sim. Like think Sims meets Grand Theft Auto, I guess.
That's why we don't have eyes in the back of our head, because everything we don't see isn't rendered yet, so that way our brain can process it. Just like a computer.
There was a fun meme I saw of when you think about it, Wisconsin has all the best players in all major sports, and it shows
Also
like the
the best
quarterback,
cheese.
NBA, stuff like that for Wisconsin. And somebody was like, "You forgot about competitive eating and put Jeffrey Dahmer," and I fucking died.
Fuck. That's some fucked up shit. Wow.
It's too good. It's the little things that make me laugh. It doesn't have to be a super big joke. I'll laugh at it.
Things that make
So
you
that's why
ew.
you laugh when
care.
you look down.
Hey,
Oh.
he's got to compensate because you know he's in the army. If he started talking about little dicks, then you know what would happen to him. So he's gotta be top dog.
Dude, that's the
Bark,
Navy.
bark. No, that's you.
No, that's
In the Navy.
In the Navy. I don't know what we're singing, but in the Navy.
You've never seen Down Periscope?
Oh, forgive me. Do you know how many things I've seen? You know,
Not enough.
I think there is a point where you've seen too much, and I think that's a point. Because like I have my Netflix and whatnot, but like I've hit a point with movies that anything that is just movies I'm very hesitant on, because I'm like, man, I've seen a lot of things that I already wanted to, and it's hard for me to find something new to watch without paying for more. It's really fucking annoying. So you know, because when I'm writing scripts, I'll watch something. When we're throwing around ideas back and forth so I can get the script going, or if there's anything that these guys added that I have to put in. All this happens while I'm have something going. And it's something that I picked up from another podcast and another YouTube channel that I really like. And I'm just gonna name drop them. I don't care. I mean, could I do that? Can I name drop them?
Oh,
No,
absolutely.
I haven't even looked at like rules or regulation.
No,
See,
you're
this is the
good.
kind of thing where like I'm completely flawed. I'm a total moron. But CinemaSins, because they have the podcast Sincast, and there was one they talk about like watching movies while they're doing something else, and like it's just a habit. And I find myself doing the same thing. So there's a lot of things I just watch over and over just to have in the background because I like it and I know it. But so yeah. So that's why I recommend The Mandalorian. Comes out every Friday on Disney Plus. I'm not even getting paid to talk about it. I'm a stupid nerd, and I'll just blab because like I really like it. I don't care.
It's free advertising.
Right?
It is. Hey Disney, holla at you, boy.
Ain't gonna pay you shit.
So, we had got at
blink.
least 3
A blink
live
and three,
viewers.
papa.
You know, and there's some people, there's plenty of
Just
people
a
probably
small
listen to it
ant
after
under
it's
their
done.
boot.
So, I mean, who knows? Maybe some of those people don't know what Disney Plus is if they live under a rock.
No, I do have friends that they just they already have too many things that they pay for, and they don't want to have that. Or,
Yeah, I just
or they're
dropped
just not
Netflix.
interested in it at all. Which
Yeah.
one of my coworkers, Sam, isn't into anything Star Wars or any of that. She's like meh. So I could just like go on. Like when Stranger Things, its last season, I was like, you don't watch that at all, do you? She's like, no, I don't like scary things. And I was like, I thought about it for a minute. I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, you're not gonna like this at all, just because she doesn't watch anything unless it's action. So I figured maybe Mandalorian or Star Wars. She doesn't like sci-fi either. She's like just like John Wick. She loves that or anything of that nature. But she doesn't like the sci-fi. She's like has to be more like real Earth, I guess you could put it, not space or zombies or any. Well, no, not well, no, I guess not. I guess not zombies because she does like Resident Evil, but she said she only likes that because it's just the chick going around just being a badass. Just beating the shit out of
Yeah,
things.
they should have
decapitating
stopped
them.
after the first one.
Hey, you know, we actually talked about that on our one of our older episodes when we broke down zombie stuff. We talked about that with the movies. It was like, yeah, the first one, the second one was okay, but then it was just like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they just kept going. It's like,
Mhm.
why?
Because
And
it
now they're
made
talking
money.
about a reboot.
Well, if they do a reboot, they should maybe try and not
Can you
just
guess?
add some random character and put
Oh yeah.
the main
Hang
characters
on.
off to the side. Like, what the fuck was
But
that all about in the first place?
but James, have you not heard who's working on it supposedly?
No, I have
The
not.
same guy who did Fast and Furious. We all know his work, like Aquaman. They did really well for people. He's talking about redoing it. So you know it's probably not going to be a hot chick. It'll be some big hunkin' dude.
For what?
It'll be Aquaman zombies.
What?
Jason Momoa, what are you doing here?
Right.
I'm not Aquaman anymore.
The Rock as Chris
um,
Redfield.
I'm Leon. Jason Momoa
Can
as
you
Leon.
smell
The Rock.
what
Dwayne
Chris
Johnson
is
as
cooking?
Chris Redfield.
Oh shit.
But who would
That would be
be
funny as hell to see.
Oh, that'd be weird. Dude,
who'd
you
be
could
Claire?
cast him as Nemesis or the
Oh my god.
monster
You know, actually, that's
from
fun.
Isn't it Nemesis? Isn't that the name of that thing?
Yes,
In
the
the
big
third
dude who
Resident
was in
Evil?
the second movie.
Yeah.
I just want to
Yeah.
know who's going to be the merchant.
Oh, that doesn't come till 4. That would be so out of place. Don't be ruining my continuity, boy. I'm a nerd, boy. No. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it'll be at least fun. We'll see. But anyway, that does remind me. Speaking of The Rock playing a horrible monster, they do want him to play. Supposedly, they wanted him to play the Thing. Everybody thought because he talked with Disney. But word has now come out that he might be playing Black Bolt, which is the silent character of the Inhumans, because his voice is so powerful he cannot speak.
That's kind of would be a weird role for The Rock, I think. I guess he could
It
just
would
do a
be,
lot
but
of
at the same time,
eyebrowing.
I'm like,
He's really good with his eyebrows, so
see,
could
that's
just
what
talk with those.
I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, he wouldn't talk, so he wouldn't have any way. They wouldn't have to try to make him say some kind of quirky line because he's that kind of action star. They could just have him be silent, but just beating ass,
Yep. Silent and deadly.
like just fucking
Dude's a
think
fucking brute.
silent Superman, and you've got like a Black Bolt kind of character you could use. Like that'd be kind of fun. He could just be silent, just beating people's asses. You don't have to have him talk, but then when he does, it's just like a whisper, and he's obliterating people. Like this would be fun.
Yeah, that's nuts. Apparently, his
So now
voice
there's talk
just
that he might be doing that.
shatters atoms, like breaks people down into molecules. Like, was that
Yeah,
just
he's
vaporizes things?
he's
Apparently,
something. Yeah, there was a. We've talked. I think me and Anthony brought it up before. When they did World War Hulk, where Hulk was waging war on the Earth when he came back from what kind of like what they did with Ragnarok, Thor Ragnarok. He was on Battle Planet, and he was played in the Coliseum, and he was a gladiator. And then he comes back to Earth after they send another probe and kill what he was trying to make his wife. He's trying to make a wife. So then he comes back pissed off, and he calls out everybody to send him away. And he takes Black Bolt into New York City, and he's like, beats the living shit out of him, and just holds him up and calls out that they all have to, everybody who sent him, which was, I think, Doctor Strange, Xavier. Well, it was Xavier, but then Xavier they killed off, so it was Beast then, Iron Man, Captain America, Namor, and Black Panther. So they all had to, like, come face him. And he's like, if you don't, I think you know what I can do with this. And he crushes Black Bolt's hand and aims him at the city, and the dude, because he shouts, just obliterates the whole city block.
Jesus.
He's like, and I'm going to keep doing this till you come down here. So everybody's lives are in your hand. It's your choice. Like, it's fucked. Which then you get Doctor Strange comes down, and he like tries to get into his mind. He's like, I can help you if you just, I need you to just take my hands, Bruce. He's like, oh, you're right. You're right, you know what? I shouldn't be letting Hulk do this. You're absolutely correct. Oh, wait. You know what happened? When I wasn't Hulk, Betty died. And all my parents have died. You know what? No. And then he just, he turns back into the Hulk and crushes his hands. And then he ends up crushing his hands in real life, which makes Doctor Strange fucking immobile. And then throws him. So that was a fun story that they did. But I thought that's what they were going to do with like Infinity War and Endgame. But they went a different route. But we were talking that they're pushing for him to do his own solo movies.
I want to see
Possibly,
Planet
Hulk
Hulk
Wolverine.
or Immortal Hulk. Like, there's so
Immortal
many
Hulk. I don't
versions
hope
of
they do
Hulk
that.
that are just They're too big for the big screen almost, I guess.
Well, there is talk of there will be another Hulk that's being introduced, other than She-Hulk.
Hmm.
And there is another Hulk in canon, Henry Chow. He was somebody that helped Bruce to try to break. He was playing around with radiation kind of things, and it was kind of like what happened to Bruce. It was after Bruce was gone, so they might be doing that. There's also talk that it might be a Hulk and Bruce being. So we're millennials. Let's recap here. We're millennials. Sorry, James. You're talking, and I mean, it is always weird finding people's ages after you. Because I never really ask about age when I first make friends with people. Like it'll be something that's like in my mind, but I don't really care if they're cool. And James, you're a case of that. Like I never really cared. I was like, man, he's just a cool dude. I don't really give a shit. Man, like you were the oldest one here. You were 10 years older than us. Man, we're just
Right?
kids. Jeremy, you're a kid again.
Yeah, I don't feel it. I joined the
sure.
army. Add 10 years.
No, you're fine.
No,
Yeah,
seriously,
you're
when you
big,
join the
big
army, you
boy.
gotta add 10 years to your lifespan because right now I feel like I'm at least 46.
Oh man.
I
Oh,
have
thank you.
carried a lot of equipment on my back. I've managed to carry
No.
over 300 pounds on my back and still function in a war type setting. Like I had to train and
And you're
be
just
that precise.
well, that's what there's like the whole conditioning process of going through your boot camp is for that. Like man, you're killing technically you are a MODOK, a machine designed only for killing right now. Like if any shit hits the fan, you're designed to just take control, be like fuck that shit. That's coming.
Anthony's still the baby.
Like I really can't.
That's
I know,
being
but that's
used-
still
being used
a
lot
brand
more
new
for big
concept.
things.
They did that with whatever movie that was Will
What?
Smith just did recently, where there was a younger version
Yeah,
of
see
himself.
that's another thing.
That
The
was
Gemini
fucking
Man
creepy.
thing,
I'm not gonna lie, it was kind
putting-
of creepy.
using his face, making it younger, putting on multiple people like that. That's like the deep fake thing that people do, and it's like, man, it's creepy. It's a
It's
creepy thing,
nuts.
because creepy people do that all the fucking time, and they put famous people in porn, or people they hate in porn, as other people just to humiliate them, and it's like, it's just a creepy fucking thing, dude.
It's fucking
It's
weird, is
seriously
what
just
it
a
is.
creepy thing.
Yeah, but it's making a lot of money.
That's my 2 cents on it. I just think it's a creepy thing that now Hollywood's experimenting with.
I mean, do you want to know what a creepy thing is? I can tell you what
Yes.
something's even creepier. Do you want to know what the #1 selling sex toy in the entire market for the entire world is right now?
Oh, this is getting spicy again. Get your habaneros. Come on, this is spicy. What do we got?
Okay, it is alien tentacles. Okay,
Oh, God.
alien tentacles that
Just move people in
actually
tentacles. What did
actually
Squidward ever do?
inject eggs into your cavities.
What? No, that cannot be real.
No,
That is
it is.
fake. That is
It
fake.
is.
James, back me up
Nope.
here. That is fake.
That is not fake. That is
Um,
actually real.
James,
I
back
would-
me up. That's got to be fake.
It's got to
There's
be.
no fucking way.
Google it. Google it right now. Google it right the
Because
fuck
I can't
now.
imagine they're gonna sell you something that does that for because if that I can't imagine.
It's like it's basically like a hard-boiled egg type feel, but it's like synthetic. But yeah, no, it's for real.
That's
And
fucking...
you want to know what the #1 seller is for it, for gender-wise?
What's that?
Male.
You know what? All right, changing topic. Because I can't imagine. People in the fucking tentacle porn. I can't, man.
That's so weird.
It is. It's just a weird thing. I don't
It
get your
sells
tentacle porn.
more. It sells more than any
I'm
sex
not with
toy
your
in the market
tentacle
right now. I'm just saying.
Not
Dude,
with
I'm in
it.
the army. Okay, I have
Giggity,
weird
giggity,
conversations
not
with
with it.
people all the time. All right, I'm just saying.
Jeremy, thank you for your service. Spending this time real wisely right now on your time off. Thank you.
Beats the alternative.
There. Well, what's the alternative? But fucking
Yeah, we're not gonna go there.
his sex dungeon. He doesn't want to talk about
I
those.
can't get the suction cup noise out of my head from tentacles now. It's like freaking me out. Just...
See now you
I have broken James.
broke him. God.
I have broken the code and I have broken James. God damn, I love life.
Oh, balls.
Jesus Christ, guys. All right, so you can reach us at oddcastmedia@gmail.com, of course. We're here on YouTube, so feel free to subscribe and, you know, hit the bell. We're uploading every week. We have What an Oddcast that'll be posting here. You can also find What an Oddcast over on Spotify, Stitcher, really anything that you listen to podcasts to on, whether it's YouTube, SoundCloud, or whatever, even iTunes. We're there, so feel free to hit us up. And we also have the Oddcast N over on Twitter. You can feel free to hit us up there. And James, you can find at Adaptive Creation Studio. You can find him on YouTube. You can find him on his Twitter. We're covering all this,
Twitters.
folks. All the Twitters. And Seth recently got his first shirt, which was just a thing to make sure that the sizes that he normally gets would fit, because I wasn't sure
It was
how they
still
worked.
pretty neat, though. It was neat.
Because he went to the Patreon and he hit us up for the top tier, even though he really didn't need to. He hit it up for the top tier just to be like, because he's been busy after he got married. He's got a few things he's juggling around. Because as I said, we're not a professional thing getting paid to do anything. This is something we just kind of do. Which, if you like it, feel free to hit us up at that Patreon, Oddcast Network. Helps support the show here. And then we also have the fireside chat that we do, which we just recently put out the episode yesterday because of all the Thanksgiving stuff tomorrow. It helps us expand. Anthony has one that we talked about that he wants to do, that we'll be talking about more as it comes closer to being brought out. So yeah, feel free to hit us up anywhere. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know stuff. Oddcast Network on Facebook. I have the Instagram there, jammer_jokeypants. I post stuff about the Oddcast and stuff there all the time. And just other random shit that I'll take a picture of. Took a picture of Praying Mantis before we got all the snow. Just because he was chilling on the fucking chair outside the door as I went to walk back in. He was like perfectly brown to match it. It was a wicker chair, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. And he just kept fucking eyeballing me, not moving. So I got a couple pictures of him. It was cool.
We should get it out there that we are possibly looking for someone that's artistically inclined to draw. Like you sent me your pilot script. We don't have to go into details as to exactly what that is, but maybe somebody that I don't care if it's just black and white, just sketches. I can do the coloring on my computer, even if they're stale images.
I'm gonna put this in the beginning of the episode.
Yeah. So if you would kind of, without going into too much detail, you don't want to obviously give away any story, but maybe give a little bit of a background on it and why we are looking for someone to kind of...
I've been sitting on a show. I'll call it a show. It's just a little something that I came up with.
I feel like it'll look like a comic when we're done with it, which is fucking cool.
I was tossing around the idea about doing any like an animated thing or like a comic strip kind of thing. And I've been tossing around for a while, and then I finally got the idea down and a concept written out earlier this year. And James here has been kind enough to help me go over things to figure it out. So yeah, if anybody knows anybody, feel free to let them know that we're looking for somebody, just to help out, kind of get on board with this, so we can. We're going to be trying to do a few other things that we had planned, involving both of us and whatnot.
It has been proofed, so we're really just needing the tangibles, like the artwork to put with the script, and then we could potentially start voiceovers whenever we would like. But without the art, we don't. It's. We don't want to make an audiobook. we want to have something that you can visually see. So
it's true. It wouldn't, and it doesn't have to be anything super detailed either. So I don't think it has to be like majorly.
It just needs to make the scene.
It
that's what it's got to do.
Yeah. So it's just a little something that we're working on. Just heads up there. Keep an eye out about what we're doing with that, because yeah. But guys, thank you for being here for the J Day, Anthony. Enjoy finishing packing up or laying down and going to sleep, whatever it is you're doing. And enjoy moving in over the weekend. And I'll catch you guys maybe later this week, maybe next week. I'll see what I end up doing. Um, I might also, there might also be some gaming stuff that we put up on the YouTube here, which we're live streaming. We're going to be starting putting all the episodes up here, and doing some live stream stuff. So stay tuned for that too. Hit us up on Twitter at OddcastN, hashtag One on Oddcast Network, hashtag Fireside, whatever you want to use to reach out. I can find it that way. And you guys all take care. Ta ta.
Why?
See ya.